Please welcome Ron Rapetti.
Thank you. You can tell by what people have done over their life, their work ethic. They're willing to do some of the kind of not so great jobs. You know, they're willing to put the hard yards in to succeed. So I've been nerd man since 2009, but I've been in IT for nearly 30 years. Taken a small sabbatical to run a massage supply business. But I'm still working in IT for friends and family. And when technology doesn't want to work. On me. So I basically started learning about computers when I was 12 years old, because I got kicked out of maths class. Not because I was bad, it's just because the teacher couldn't keep up with me and his mate creating the self-paced learning system. So we were working from the master sheets at one time, and the teacher just said, you and you just go do whatever you want. So I asked and says, can I go play on that computer? This is back in the days where you just turned it on and it did nothing. You had to physically learn and program the computer yourself. So I learned programming back then, which came in handy over time. So I went to tech school, so I learnt woodworking, sheet metal, engineering, electrical, electronics, mechanical appreciation. So I have a greater understanding about things. I'm not scared to pick up a drill and drill a hole through a wall to run a cable, like some computer technicians, because I have the skills and knowledge in other areas that gives me an edge over others. I've done my associate diploma in engineering electronics. I work for Telecom, aka Telstra, as a communications technician and telephone exchange. So I know about telecommunications, how it works. Then I basically got a promotion up into the office and looked after computer networks. So I looked after 2 offices for a time before I left and went on holidays. I've done my CCNA training, which is basically certified, Cisco Certified Network Associate, which basically is the low-level, high-end type networking skills. So I know about networks and how they work and how to do it. So that gives me an edge over a lot of people who have just basically done their Cert 3, which they only learn basic understanding of networks. I've been in the field for over 30 years. Working in IT from telecommunications, I've worked for computer shops, I've worked for myself over time, I've worked for a franchise as well, called Nerds on Site. So when I actually left the franchise, one of my clients said, but if you leave, we can't call you our nerd anymore. So hence Nerdman was created. So these are some of the things I actually do. I'm not going to go over too many of them, but you can just have a look at it. People that have used my services have an understanding of what I do. Some things that people don't understand I do is I actually transfer data from old media. You know the old floppy disks that are about this big?
Yeah.
Well, I can transfer the media from old floppies about this big. So literally the floppy disk. I can break out my Windows 95 box if I need to transfer data, because back then people would have put data on them, photos, recipes. I transferred a heap of discs from a restaurant owner whose recipes were all on small floppies. I also can transfer data from zip drives. So basically back in the day they were high capacity data storage of 100 meg. So if people have old zip drives with photos and other family memorabilia that they need removed and they can't find the actual zip drive themselves, mine is basically sitting there ready to go. So a lot of other things are pretty self-explanatory. I do work on PCs mainly, but I do have Mac knowledge and skills. So if people have a problem with the software or configuration or external devices they need for their Mac, I can do them. Because of legalities, I can't physically open up Macs and do work, because Apple won't sell me the parts, and neither will the Apple stores, because I've had that experience once before. And I think someone wants to take a photo of that screen. So there's not much I don't put my hand up for, because when you get on the job, you can learn it. And that's one of my great skills, is to be able to adapt to new technologies and new skill sets. I picked up one client. I was the third technician he rang because the other people didn't want to borrow it. He wanted his Nokia this is going back 10 years, to talk to his computer. I took the job. It took me 30 minutes where he failed after 3 days. From there, I've picked up a number of clients for him. If the other guys took the job and were willing to expand their knowledge and capabilities, they would have picked up more business from this one person. And that's what referrals are all about. Picking up business from people that you know can do the work. Dust! Who loves dust? Drago? This is just a sample of a photo I took of a computer full of dust. The problem with dust is that it creates an insulation and prevents air circulation in computers. Once this happens, computers start shutting down randomly. Because central processing units, CPUs, actually have a thermal protection system. And sometimes you see in the BIOS, it has has 2 settings. So where it starts to make noise and where it really gets upset with you. Usually around 70 to 80 degrees, the computer will start beeping at you. At around 90 to 100 degrees, it will actually start turning itself off in order to be able to cool itself down. Now, this is very annoying when you're in the middle of a job and you forgot to hit save and your computer decides, I'm too hot now. So this is a normal dusty computer. This one is from a smoker's environment. You can actually see that the colour of the dust is different. And I was not able to actually blow the dust out of that properly because the dust was actually stuck there with the tar and the nicotine. So smoking around technology can actually harm it. So if you see people smoking around their computers, say, do you realise smoking is going to cost you more than your health? More than what you've got in your wallet? It can cost you a new computer, the loss of your data. And if you're in a business environment, that could cost you a lot more. So here's some before and after photos. This is before. This is after blowing the dust out of it. Now I actually use the compressor at home to do this, than my little one in the car, because it just couldn't do the job. So that's a fan of an actual video card. So if your video card overheats, you can blow your video card. This was a $600 video card. So this was a gaming computer. So if this blows because it overheated, it's up $600. So that's what it looked like afterwards. That's what the system actually looked like beforehand. It's even got cobwebs. That's what it looked like after. These are some of my past and present clients. I've actually done work for Alcoa because there was one shed in the whole complex that their subcontractors wouldn't touch. So I went in there and cloned a computer. And then they complained about me charging them $400, considering the clone only works on a particular brand of computer as well. And that took me several hours to understand that. And do you know how hard it is to find a computer that doesn't exist in this world anymore? Luckily their IT department had one and the PC graveyard had another. And I just said to them, why don't you just upgrade the system? And they said, oh, that'll be about $1 million. So I saved them $1 million, charged them $400 and they complained.
Well, they are in business now.
Yeah, that's probably why they're out of business. My bread and butter are basically break and fix. That means if something breaks down, your ring Ronnie comes and fixes it. So this is the jobs that, like, my modem's not working, my computer won't turn on. These are the type of jobs that I do on a day-to-day basis because people want their IT to work. Setting up an installation of computers, printers, tablets, phones, that is a very common thing as well. And people that just don't have a clue. I went out last night because a lady said, I've got these Chinese and thin keyboards on my tablet. How do I get rid of them? No, just come and get rid of them for me. It was just basically, I'm not in the headspace to do it. I'd rather give you a few bucks. I had one client who decided to hit the master reset on their printer and wiped out all the configurations. Ron, just come in and redo it again. So I did. Cream clients are small businesses working from home or out in the world, 3 to 5 computers that need regular servicing. I like the people with the attitude, Ron, just come and do it, please. Being a backup nerd, so if other IT people have a job that's slightly larger than they're capable, to go in and give them a hand, or when they basically go on holidays. So, I know someone who can do a couple of jobs for you. He won't pinch your clients. He won't even leave a business card. All right, and of course, what happens when you buy an ex-school laptop? You get these silly warnings saying to activate because it can't no longer talk to the server. My dream clients are big enough clients that need support on a regular basis, that have the attitude, Ron, just do it. Here's a check that is blank. Don't laugh, I've got a number of clients that do that. It says, Ron, just do it, send me the bill. I don't care what it's going to cost, I just need my technology working so I can get on with business. My name is Ron from Nerdman, helping people with their technology.